Hello, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on a news update. My name is Goodluck in Naini. Now, a three-member car snatching gang in the early hours of this morning snatched a Lexus 350 Jeep from the driver, a woman. The innocent the incident was at Urubi Street, opposite the popular junction by TV Road. Peter Oyibo reports that the suspected criminals also abandoned the Toyota Camry car they came with at the scene of the crime.
The owner of the car, while narrating the incident, said the suspected robbers demanded for a handbag and other valuables before taking off.
No, we can't lock a central lock. As we lock a central lock, we not close before they hit the motor. So as they open the car, they drive my sister and come out and come inside. They meet her inside before they see me and come outside. They collect my phone, my sister, everything.
Further investigation at the scene of the crime reveals that the suspected car snatchers who accosted the victim with a Toyota Camry car left the ignition of the car on and zoomed off with the Lexus Jeep. At the time of filing this report, security personnel were also sighted at the scene. In Benin, Peter Oyibo, NTA News.
Now, the federal government has extended the deadline for the ongoing National Identification Number, NIN, and Subscriber Identity Module, SIM, integration exercise by 8 weeks. A statement jointly signed by Director Public Affairs of the Nigerian Communications Commission NCC Ikechukwu Adinde and Head Corporate Communications NIMSI Kayode Adegoke indicates that the new deadline is April 6, 2021. This development is the major fallout of the Ministerial Task Force on NIM SIM registrations meeting chaired by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Bantani, and which had all the key players in telecommunications companies, regulators, and unions. So far, a total of 56.18 million numbers have been collected by the mobile network operators, representing a significant increase when compared with the 47.8 million reported by the Technical Committee on January 18, 2021. The statement commends Nigerians for their efforts and urge those yet to get their national identity numbers to take advantage of the extension to do so, while promising to ensure an easier and COVID-19 safe registration process for all Nigerians and legal residents. And now, low turnout of pupils and absence of teachers in public primary schools marred yesterday's rescheduled resumption of schools in Edo State. Jude Abugu, who monitored activities in the metropolis, reported why secondary and private schools commenced academic activities with sensitization of students on COVID-19 safety protocols. Teachers in government-owned primary schools stayed away from their duty post due to the indefinite strike embarked upon by the Edo State chapter of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT.
Having been delayed from resuming at the same time with schools in other states across the country due to fear of coronavirus spread, one would have expected that pupils and teachers in Edo State will be in high spirit to commence full academic activities. This was, however, not the case in most primary schools, as neither the teachers nor pupils were in schools on the first day of resumption. This, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, explained, is against the state government's directives.
To governments, all teachers public school teachers from primary to secondary are supposed to be at their duty post. And if there is any teacher that has flouted this directive, it is at his or her own risk.
In some schools visited in Oredo local government area, security agents were seen manning the school premises, while some persons in the premises claimed they are not teaching staff. The story is different in secondary schools and private schools visited by the crew, as teachers and education inspectors were seen enforcing COVID-19 safety protocols in order to ensure that both staff and students are protected against the deadly coronavirus.
Students, they've not seen themselves for some time, but the COVID guidelines says that they should not be seen flocking together. So we are trying to go around to sensitize them. Even with the announcement put on the media, a lot of them still haven't gotten it.
So far, at our school gates and other strategic locations in the compound, we have put posters to let everyone know that no face mask, no entry. Then we have our hand washing stations where the students have to wash their hands as they come in and during break and after break.
Although some safety measures such as provision of water, soap, sanitizers, and other hand-washing materials were put in place by the state government, some observers who spoke off camera noted that these items are inadequate in some schools. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
Now, Governor Godwin Obaseki says anyone attempting to distort the resumption process of schools in the state will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Elizabeth Omoko reports that the governor says adequate arrangement has been made to secure and protect teachers, pupils, and school property. This is contained in a broadcast by Governor Godwin Obaseki.
The governor says since 2016, his administration has continued to upgrade infrastructure in schools, utilizing the framework of the minimum standard for basic education in Nigeria, most especially developing an infrastructure plan, in addition to definition of what constitutes a standard primary school and classrooms to ensure that the reforms of his administration is sustained. Confident that his administration has done more for teachers than any state of the Federation, Governor Obaseki says he has approved all outstanding promotions from 2013 to 2020.
Since we came into office 4 years ago, we approved and carried out all outstanding promotions for teachers from the year 2013 to 2020. These 7 promotions in 4 years is unprecedented in the history of our state. In line with our stance on adequate remuneration for staff, we ensured and implemented the annual increase in salary, which is called stepping for teachers, which was stopped by previous administrations.
He described the ongoing strike action being embarked upon by the Nigerian Union of Teachers in the state as capable of causing disharmony in the state.
My dear teachers, you can see that the action of the few elements within the NUT Edo chapter who called you to go on strike has very little to do with your welfare. It is unfortunate that they will mortgage their ethics and integrity for political leverage.
The governor is urging teachers to resume in the interest of shared values of progress and dedication to preserve the future of the leaders of tomorrow. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
Now, the National Industrial Court, sitting at the Benin Judicial Division, has restrained the Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT, from proceeding on any strike action in the state-owned primary schools. Justice A.A. Adewemimo gave the order this Monday after listening to submissions brought forward by the Edo State Solicitor General Oluwole Yamu, SAN. A judge in the ruling restrained the chairman and assistant secretary general of the union either acting through themselves or their agents or privies from embarking on any strike pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice, which was fixed for Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. And now, And the Edo state government monitored the level of compliance with COVID-19 protocols in some schools in Benin metropolis. Elizabeth Amoko reports.
Members of the Edo State COVID-19 response team, security agencies, Red Cross Society of Nigeria, NCDC officials, and other stakeholders visited the Magoro Junior Secondary School, Owedo Girls Junior and Senior Secondary Schools, and a private school in the metropolis. At the various schools visited, the leaders of the COVID-19 response team took time out to interact with the principals and students on the reasons to contain the community spread of the disease in the state. For the team, the exercise by the state government became necessary to find out if schools adhere to NCDC guidelines and government's directives.
Good so far, all well and good so far. Most schools that we visited all comply.
Heads of the schools visited commended the Edo State government for the exercise.
We are so impressed with the team that came.
They believe that with the resumption of schools in the state, it is expected that stakeholders will maintain the safety guidelines of COVID-19 to rid the state of the killer virus. In Benin, Elizabeth Amako, NTA News.
And now a bit on politics now. Two All Progressive Congress lawmakers in the Edo State House of Assembly have defected to the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The two lawmakers are the former Deputy Speaker of the House and member representing Akoko Edo 1, Yekini Diaye, and member representing Orion East constituency, Nosayaba Okumbo. The Speaker, Marcos Onobo, read their letters of resignation from APC on the floor of the House at Monday's plenary. Obehi Otobo, a precise report is here presented.
These separate letters informing the House of the lawmakers' resignation from the APC cited internal crisis at the ward to local government levels as the reason behind their decision to move to the PDP. The Speaker, Marcos Onobu, welcomed the lawmakers to the PDP and commended their desire to work with the state governor in making Edo great again. The defection of the two lawmakers has brought the number of PDP lawmakers to 9, with only one APC lawmaker in the 10-man House of Assembly. Meanwhile, the House adopted a resolution calling on the State Commissioner of Police and other relevant security agencies to address the menace of armed hoodlums unleashing terror in Orionwo, Esan West, and other parts of the state. At plenary, the House also adopted a business calendar of 65 sitting days for the third quarter second session, starting 1st February to 30th April 2021. In Benin, Obehi Otuba Presai, NTA News.
And the news is being streamed live, and you can subscribe and watch news stories and other programs on our YouTube channel, NTA Benin. Like us on Facebook, NTA Benin, or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA Benin 1. Take a break now. The news resumes shortly. Stay with us. Thanks for being there. The Assistant Inspector General of Police AIG Zone 5 by Shola David has bowed out of service. At his last briefing as AIG, he commended officers and men of Nigerian police as well as members of the Fourth Estate of the Rim for their support during his time in the force. Joy Egbo has the details.
The journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begins with a step, and the end also is said to justify the means. This is a story of a successful service to fatherland through the Nigerian police force. For him, the journey was filled with experience.
It has been the greatest privilege of my professional career to count myself amongst you, to count myself a member of this extraordinary family in uniform. The uniform of the Nigerian Police Force. Whatever the future may bring, I will always be able to say, yes, I was one of you.
Friends and associates commend him for his commitment and devotion to service. AIG Shola David joined the Nigerian Police Force on the 1st of February 1986. He served as Commissioner of Police Bayelsa State, immediate past Assistant Inspector General in charge of Zone 2 Command, Osun and Oyo States, before his posting as AIG Zone 5 Command, amongst others. In Benin, Joy Egbo, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 676 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. So far, 131,918 cases have been confirmed, 106,275 cases discharged, and 1,607 deaths recorded in 36 states and the FCT. The 676 new cases are reported from 19 states, with Lagos 227, Rivers 73, Niger 69, Plateau 56, FCT 50, Kano 44, and Oyo 43. Others are Ogun 27, Gombe 18, Ondo 15, Enugu and Osun 10 each, Cross River and Edo 8 each, Nasarawa 7, Bauchi 4, Kaduna 3, while Ekiti and Zamfara recorded 2 cases each. Now, the Edo state government has raised an alarm that the state is facing a more violent strain of the virus in the second wave of the pandemic, urging residents to be cautious and observe all safety and health protocols against the spread of the infectious disease to stay safe and healthy. State COVID-19 Incident Manager Dr. Andrew Obi said this during a meeting of the Edo State COVID-19 Task Force chaired by Governor Godwin Obaseki, comparing the first 9 weeks of the first wave and that of the second wave. The incident manager says a difference of 907 more cases, representing over 400% increase, has been confirmed. According to him, all indices, including death, case positivity, and number of infections, among others, are higher in the second wave than the first. The incident manager disclosed that in the last 72 hours, as at Monday evening, the state recorded 73 new confirmed cases, 3 deaths, and 46 recoveries from the coronavirus disease. Dr. Obi added that Edo Central and Edo North senatorial districts have the highest case positivity rate in the state, particularly Esan Central and Owan East local government areas. He urged residents to support the government in its efforts at containing the second wave of the pandemic and protecting the people. And now a special prayer for peace has been offered in Edo State. The convener of the prayer summit and provincial head of the Omega Fire Ministry Benin 1, Senior Pastor Azeme Azena, prayed for peace in all spheres of government in Edo State and the royal palace of the Oba of Benin Kingdom. Dennis Temple captured the scene.
We decree peace for all the geopolitical zone in Nigeria. We declare peace.
That is the annual prayer summit, which was usually accompanied with a rally around Benin metropolis. But this year's edition was confined within the church premises in strict compliance with COVID-19 protocols. The prayer, titled "Let There Be Peace in Edo State," saw Senior Pastor Azeme Azena admonishing the congregation to eschew any act of wickedness, covetousness, and imbibe the spirit of love. According to him, are sure ways to attract divine peace in the land.
Wicked is wicked. Wickedness is wickedness. If you want peace, don't be wicked. Tell your neighbor, say, don't be wicked. Don't be wicked.
While speaking to NTA News, he explained that the prayer summit is part of his activities to begin a New Year program, and it provides a platform for them to commit the nation, Edo State, and all arms of government to God.
It's a mandate that God has given to us in the past 4 years. It's an avenue to pray for the nation, to pray for the state, and all the arms of government. So that is what we do. And it's not just prayer as usual. It's also a way of me coming out from my Eid prayer that I've done for 30 days. So the moment coming out is the program that classes the end of my prayers, Eid prayer, every month of January.
Some of the pastors and converts also spoke to NTA News.
We stand as Omega Fire Ministry, Southern Region 2, with Dr. Azeme Azena to declare peace, to speak peace in the land of Edo State.
So it's our responsibility to make such decree. And I know by the grace of God that based on this decree and declaration that was made, peace has come to stay.
This program for over the years has been a blessing to us.
Pray that God should rain his peace upon the land of Edo State in Jesus' name. Amen.
The annual prayer summit provided an opportunity to offer prayer against communal crisis, cultism, and against the attack on Christians across the globe. In Benin, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
Let's take a break now. The news resumes shortly.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, 2 things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Randeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities. Fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Randeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Randeki Royal Hotel at 6 Uhenuyi Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.randekihotels.com. Randeki Gold, our hospitality is gold.
Now let's take sports. Athletes step up preparations for Edo 2020. Details from Sport Desk.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Tamara Ebiwe. We begin from home front, where athletes to the 20th National Sports Festival, built for Benin City, the Edo State capital this month, are intensifying training at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, to ensure podium finishes at the festival.
Been a very long while that we competed, so we're just trying to put everything in place. Our coaches are trying their best to see that we execute it properly.
We've only had one meet. So based on that, I think I wish we can run one more meet before the festival. But I think come festival, a lot of people will be a little bit in tune with the specific training, and then I think they should pretty much come to perform.
In football, talents discovered at the just ended 2021 Olympic hybrid football screening program held in Abuja are in camp, preparing for the 2021 Dana Cup scheduled for Denmark. The newly selected players and the main team settled for a 1-0 draw on the final day.
So we want to start working and building with our old squad to get things out of it. So basically, it was a very successful program.
Now to tennis, where former world #1 Serena Williams' chase for her 24th record equaling major singles title gets a boost, as she has fully recovered from an Achilles injury suffered at the US Open in September. Serena and Katie Boulter won their opening Australian Open warm-up matches, with Williams defeating Australia's Daria Gavrilova 6-1, 6-4, while Boulter beat Russia's Anna Kalinskaya 6-1, 6-3. That's Sports Update. I am Tamara Ibiwe.
Now, Governor Gordon Obaseki is mourning the death of a veteran journalist and former Minister of Information and Culture, Prince Tony Momo. The governor, in the statement, celebrates the contributions of late Prince Tony to the growth and development of Nigeria, describing him as a rare politician who spoke the truth to power when it mattered the most. The statement adds that Prince Momo thought a great son of Edo was a total Nigerian, forthright, driven person who spoke with candor. As a nationalist, he was unapologetic about the Nigerian project, and his lasting legacy remains the enthronement of democratic values in Nigeria. The governor, on behalf of the people of Edo State, commiserates with his family, friends, and associates, and wishes that God grants them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. Prince Tony Momo was a veteran journalist, lawyer, politician, and former Minister of Information and Culture between 1986 and 1990 during the military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida. He was chairman of the African Conference of Information Ministers from 1988 to 1990. He was educated at Government School, Auchi, Teachers Training College, Abraka, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, the University of Lagos, and the Nigerian Law School. And a veteran actor and former staff of the Nigerian Television Authority Benin Network Center, Mr. Best's Tongo, a.k.a. Chief Ego of the Hotel de Jordan fame, has passed on. A statement by the family indicates that he died after a brief illness. He is survived by his wife and children. A burial arrangement will be announced later by the family. And that's the news. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Do remember to join us later at 7 p.m. for our comprehensive news package. Until then, have a nice day.